Okay, Josh, set up my living room to try to approximate your bedroom. So basically, that's the boat, and this is Quest. He's going to be helping me out. So I'm going to imagine that this is your dresser. I apologize if it's not in the right orientation, but basically, imagine that you can't see me. So what you want to do is you're going to take your high-value treats. This is the first stage. Well, actually, let me back up. The first stage is if your dog won't go into the bedroom or he has any hesitation, then just basically, if this is the doorway, this is your dog, just show, oh, hey, I got a treat. Just throw it right there. Let him go in. If he goes in there and lingers, don't call him out. The idea is we want him to practice. The whole premise of this whole thing is to have him practice going in the bedroom, and lingering and having good things happen. So if he won't go in, you have to have any pressure or you have to have multiple times. Just go throw the treat. I would probably say bedroom as I throw it each time. And so eventually you can say bedroom and he runs in there. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your treat. You're going to go ahead and throw it over the dog bed. These are stuck together, Quest. You're going to get a big one this time. And so I think you said bed Tim. Now right there, Quest didn't step on the bed, so I wouldn't do it. You want to throw it and say the word at the same time. So bed Tim. And try to throw it so he has to go on it like there. And then basically the dog's going to probably vacate it. This is my second take. The lighting wasn't good, so I had to set this up for you. So as soon as he vacates it, bed Tim, throw another one on there. And try to throw it, make sure your dog bed's up against the edge so it's not going in a corner. Otherwise, he's just going to sit there digging at it. That's okay, but it creates a little frustration. As soon as he steps off, throw another one, bed Tim, and throw it on there. And what you're going to start seeing is what Quest is doing right there. Is he's going to start lingering. This is probably going to take you several practice sessions. So again, I would grab about 30 pieces of kibble. As soon as he jumps up, bed Tim, throw it back, right back on there. So as soon as he gets off, the treat goes bed Tim. And so the order is he hears the cue, then the action follows, bed Tim, and then he gets a reward or reinforcer. So that's what you want to avoid what Quest is going to do right there to try to get that treat. Okay, so basically that's the first stage, or the first stage is in and out of the room if he has problems with it. Second stage is going to be tossing the treats onto the dog bed from here. Now, if he has difficulty doing it from here, you might back up a step and just throw him from right here so he can see you, and eventually work your way up to the point where you're behind the dresser. These steps, sometimes you can do it once with 30 or 40 treats and he's good. Sometimes you might have to do it 2 or 3 times. So go at your dog's pace. The goal is the dog's comfortable with it, not that we're getting through it quickly. All right, so the first stage is in and out of the room. Second stage, you're throwing bed Tim, throwing it on the dog bed until he lingers. Once he starts lingering, then I'm going to wait 1 second, bed Tim. Actually, I wouldn't say bed Tim if he's still on there. I would just throw the treat. Now what we want to do is just basically practice lingering on the dog bed. Bed Tim. So he's there, and at 1 second, I throw another piece, and then in 1 second. So for all 20 or 30 pieces of kibble, like literally 1 second. So now he's already lingering, and we're just rewarding him for lingering. The next time you do it, and they might ebb and flow. He might back up and not be as good the second time as he was the first time. That's normal. Don't be upset if that happens. So the second side, throw a couple treats until he's lingering, and then go throw a treat. He gets it. And then wait 2 or 3 seconds before you throw the next treat. Gradually work up to the point where it's about 30 seconds in between each treat. He's staying on the dog bed and he's comfortable. And anytime he gets off, then say bed Tim and throw the treat back on there. So that's stage 3, just basically lengthening the amount of time that he's spending on the dog bed while without leaving and getting those treats. The fourth stage is you're going to actually go grab your phone, go to the door, and then latch it, but hold your phone here and then latch it and make whatever the sound is that it makes when you're making it. Make it a 1 second, when you're closing it, make it a 1 second recording. And then what you want to do is I would play the sound and then throw the treat there. Play the sound, throw the treat there. And if he lingers there, don't just wait, let him linger. Again, the purpose of this is for him to linger being on the dog bed or in the room. So now, and when you're doing this, if you press the sound and when you throw the treat, instead of going here, he goes over to where the dog or the door to the room is, that means the volume's too loud. So you're going to play this pretty quietly at first and gradually raise that volume. And again, this would be for 30 or 40 pieces of kibble. So at first, and I usually don't raise the volume in the middle of, I call each repetition or each practice session, I should say, the 30 or 40 pieces of kibble. Every repetition would be individual, just for nomenclature. So basically, so now for all 30 pieces of kibble, we're basically playing the sound, and then throwing the treat on there. If he's staying on there, you play the sound, you can just give him the treat while he's staying on there, that's fine. And work up to the point where you can play it at full volume on your phone and he doesn't get up and go to the door, he just hangs out. The next, so that's stage 3, I guess. Stage 4 is you would actually go, now I'm imagining your door is over here behind the dresser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in the room, and I would probably have Marissa help you out by staying, we're going to imagine basically where the camera is, where the bed is. But for this one, you can throw the treats or she can throw the treats, lady's choice. So basically what you're going to do now is you're going to open the door, and then, or excuse me, the door is already open. So you're just going to close the door. You're going to stay in the room behind the dresser. And so you're going to close the door and then immediately throw the treat on, and you're not saying bed Tim there, you're just throwing the treat on there. And hopefully he sees it and he goes there. The idea is we want now the door opening and closing is happening, and then he gets a treat after. Now, if you do this and he gets up and runs over here to see what's going on, that's when I would have Marissa on the actual human bed, almost a dog bed, and she's got the 40 pieces of kibble. So you close the door, but you're inside the room. He just can't see you. So you close the door, and then she throws the treat there. He goes on the dog bed. If he lingers, just wait maybe 2 or 3 seconds, then open the door, and then you're going to walk around the dresser. Don't acknowledge him, just come into sight, and then go ahead and go back here and close the door again, and then she throws the treat. Now, eventually, you're going to leave, and you're not actually leaving the room, I'm sorry, in this stage. You're pretending. So you're going to the door, he can't see you, you're closing the door, and you're just kind of hiding there so he can't see you. Then you open the door, and then as if you're walking back in. You technically could leave, but I want him to be able, if he comes over, he sees that you're right there, so he doesn't panic. And Marissa's right there, so he's going to feel comfortable. And this sets up the next stage. So basically, eventually you want to go over here, close the door, and then you're going to wait like, I'm trying to think if Marissa should time it. We're going to time it coincidentally. So work it out ahead of time. Okay, I'm going to leave for 3 seconds. So you go over, close the door, and then you wait 3 seconds, then she throws the treat, and then you open the door and come back here. And you might have to go practice these at 1 second for a while, that's okay. But you want to work up on this stage so that you can come over here, pretend to close the door, you're closing the door, but you pretend like you're leaving, but you're actually right here, and work up to the point where you can be up for like 15 to 30 seconds, somewhere in that range, and he stays in the dog bed just like Quest is. And he's relaxed and comfortable. If he's breathing heavy, he's whining, he's anxious, that means we need to back up to a previous step and help him practice that until he feels more comfortable. The next stage is you're actually going to leave the room, and don't do this until, like I said, he can stand there like Quest is, nice and relaxed, for at least 15 seconds, preferably about 30. So now what you're going to do is you're actually going to leave the room. You're going to go over here, and you could actually cue him to go to bed Tim. He probably has it at that point. Bed Tim, he goes over there. You go and leave, and as soon as you close the door, Marissa's on the dog bed, on the human bed, and she throws a treat. And then now we're going to do kind of what we did in that second stage. You're going to stay outside the room. She's going to wait. And if he starts to oscillate like he's going to get up, she's going to throw another treat on the dog bed. We want to beat him to the punch for getting off. So that didn't sound right, but we just want to keep him on the dog bed, and we're going to throw the treats before he has a chance to get up. So at first you might have to be mainlining and throwing the treats like every second or two. That's okay. Marissa, when you're about to run out of treats, you need to work out some sort of signal so that Josh, you're going to come back into the room before he has the need to come and go and look for you. And again, 30 or 40 treats for this. This is something you probably do multiple times a day. And eventually it gets to the point where you can leave the room. And at first when you're leaving the room, you're quiet. But when you get to the point where you can leave the room, and as you're doing this, you're leaving the room, at first it's every second, then now it's every 2 seconds, every 3 seconds. You want to get to the point where Marissa's throwing the treats about every 30 seconds, and he's staying there and just completely chill. Once you get to that point, then Josh, when you leave, I would have you actually leave the room and quietly say, John, you're always wrong. Or something so that he can hear it, but at a low volume. And so you want to have you say that, and Marissa hears you say that, then she throws a treat. So what we're doing is we're helping him, condition him that when he's in the room with Marissa and the door is closed and he can hear Josh outside, staying here is the way to go, because treats are falling from the sky. And again, anytime he's going to get up, Marissa, make sure you whip that treat first to try to get him. And if he does get up, that's fine. Just go ahead and throw a treat there. Or call him over to you, ask for a sit or down, and then have Josh come back in. But take note of how long this is. So if you're at like 5 minutes, Josh, and then he gets up and he gets frustrated, well, the next time we practice, we want to maybe have you come back in at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, 4 minutes and 45 seconds. We always want to end the exercise on a good note. So we want to finish the exercise before he gets to his limit and goes to look for you. So the idea is we do that first 1 second, 2 seconds. We'll gradually work up to the point where he can stay there for longer and longer periods of time, and he's relaxed doing it. Now, I would also make sure that you are feeding him in here. When you're doing that, another nice thing you might want to, if you get that Omega Paw treat ball, which is one of my favorites, you might put that on the ground when you're closing the door. And again, Marissa's in there and you're outside, and gradually the same sort of thing. At first he goes outside and you're just quiet and listening. But eventually you're doing that and you're talking to, Stibbs about the show or whatever it is. And he's hearing a little bit of that volume or the talking while he's in here, and he's content to be in here. Now, a couple other things. This is a bully stick. I think we talked about those. This is a 12-inch long bully stick if I can get the damn thing open. And so what I would do, you see Quest really likes it. These are awesome. So what you want to do is get yourself a drill. Drill a hole through the bully stick at the end of the bully stick. Get yourself a dumbbell. I know you work out because you're ripped. And so get a zip tie, put it through the hole at the end of the bully stick, attach it to the dumbbell, which is near the dog bed or somewhere in the room. Now, the dog is going to go and chew on this, but he can't take it away. Now, when you do it, when you put the zip tie through here, make sure you cut off the end of that zip tie. A lot of times dogs will bite on that and they'll chew through that and then they take the whole thing away. The idea is to anchor this in the bedroom. Do this at times when you guys are out watching God, what is the guy's name? Kent. He's interviewed me. I forgot his name. But when Kent's giving you a movie to watch, you and Marissa are watching the movie, set this up in the room. Leave the bedroom door open. So again, he is practiced going in there, and something really good is happening while he's in there. And he can go and find you guys at any point. But do I need to? No, I'm going to sit in here and chew on the bull penis. Also, make sure every time you leave the room, you leave some kibble there, just 1 or 2 pieces. Eventually, the idea is he's just kind of hanging out with you guys in the living room, and he goes in there and there's kibble. And every time you see him do it, maybe try to distract him and have Marissa go and leave a treat or 2 there. So the idea is just, why wouldn't I just check this thing? And the more that he goes in the bedroom on his own and good things happen, the more he's going to continue doing that. I don't know where I put it. I had one, I swear. The cow kneecap is great. This is good for usually 1 chew. The dog's going to sit down and chew this entire thing. A cow kneecap, literally, will look like kind of a melted softball, and it'll look kind of grody. That's good for like 5 to 10 chews. Now, those are really hard to anchor, but that might be something that you can have. So when you are closing the door and Marissa's in the room and you are going to close the door, you're doing a show or whatever, he gets that kneecap before the show. Don't give it to him right away. Actually, what I would do is have you close the door and then, Marissa throws some treats. If he gets up and starts oscillating, then she should pull it out and kind of roll it around, and he's going to go over it and grab that thing and chew on it and have a great time. He'll chew a bunch of it. He'll wait. He'll come back and chew on it a little bit later on. I would also feed him all of his meals in the bedroom. And you can do that. I would practice feeding him in the bedroom with you guys at first, one of you in the bedroom, then eventually with you guys out in the living room and putting his food in the snuffle mat. So he's got to eat it in the bedroom. Again, another positive thing that happens to him when he's in the bed, in the bedroom. Also, make sure that you exercise him before you do these things. Just make sure he has at least 10 minutes to recover before you start the practice. Otherwise, it usually is worse behavior. But if you get in the habit of exercising him before you do these things, he's going to be tired. He's going to be more likely to take a nap there. And again, what's he doing? He's practicing being calm on the dog bed. Take the stairs every time you take him in or out of the house. That's like, if you do it 5 times a day, that's like an extra walk. But again, I would do that other deal where I put the retractable leash on him. And this is something you do in lieu of going for a walk, but you probably want to take him out for a walk so he does his business. When dogs are moving around, a lot of times it moves their digestive tract and they're more likely to need to have an accident or bowel movement. So I'd put the retractable leash on him, be at the top of the stairs, show him you have a treat, throw it to the landing, and come up with a funny word. Call it, Villanova or whatever it is. And then he runs to the bottom of the stairs, licks up the treat, show him you have another one. He runs to the top of the stairs. And each up, down on the stairs, he's a bulldog, so I wouldn't overdo it more than like 10 up downs total. And I count each up and down as 1 repetition. That would probably be the max that I would do. But that's something you do, like on Sunday, it's supposed to be really shitty out. So that's something you can actually do. You don't have to go outside, but I would probably do it. What I'd probably do it for you guys, I would probably have you do like 5 to 10 of these, then walk down the stairs, take him out for a bowel movement, have him go back up the stairs. He's going to be pretty pooped. And if you can do this before you practice, especially before your show, that's going to make a big difference. Also, make sure you practice this a lot when you're not doing the show. The more that he practices these things when you're not doing whatever it is, the more comfortable and relaxed he's going to be doing it. Last thing for the phone, remember to do this thing. So just pick up your phone and give him a treat. Then put your phone back down. Pick up your phone, give him a treat. And eventually, at first you're picking up the phone. It's just, as soon as you do this, you're giving him a treat. And then it's pick it up, 1, 2, treat. And then work your way up to the point where you can hold it up here for about 15, 20 seconds. When you get to doing that, then I would say, hey, Stibbs, tell John he sucks. Sorry, just keep on beating up on John. And then give him a treat and then put the phone down. So you want to try to mimic the conversations that you are actually going to have on the phone if there's stuff that you do on a regular basis, staff meetings or whatever. So he just gets used to you holding the phone means I'm going to get a treat. You talking when you're on the phone, I'm going to get a treat. But make sure, again, you go very progressively. So first 1 second, 2 seconds, and so on. This is a lot longer video than I wanted, but it should have all the ins and outs for you. If you have any questions on this stuff, let me know.